Okay, so I'm just logging on for today's webinar, and so hopefully that's nice and clear your end if you're already logged on. I think we've got a couple of minutes before we're due to start, so just check in with our IT department and just make sure that okay, they reckon I'm nice and clear. So just give me 2 seconds. I say 2 seconds. Not going to be 2 seconds, is it? I'll be as quick as I can. All right, and then we'll start bang on 1:30. So. Okay, I think we've got 2 minutes to go before we actually start this global webinar. Fingers crossed we're all working. Unfortunately, I can't tell my end, as you probably gather. So it says live, and that's about all I get. Loaded. Okay, so I'm told that that's nice and clear, and we've got a couple of minutes to go, and I'm going to look forward to telling you all about DeVere. So, all right, hang on in there. Let's explain to you what this business is all about, and indeed what the international financial services industry is all about. So, okay, give me 60 seconds, and we're up and going. Okay, so I think that's fully loaded. I believe the sound is good, and we're just about ready for this global webinar. Okay, so let's explain to you exactly what we're doing today. We do a global webinar for a number of different reasons. You'll appreciate as a company, we work all over the world, so very exciting opportunity that we're going to talk to you about today. If you're interested in working in the financial sector, but particularly in the international part of the financial sector, then we're going to describe that to you. We do a webinar because we recruit people from different countries. So we've got people logging on in the Far East, where it's evening time now. People logging on in South Africa, so your early part of the afternoon. People in the UK, where it's your lunchtime. And all the way over to America. And we've got some great people that work for us in the US, but also work for us around the world that are Americans. So, okay, we recruit Americans, we recruit Brits, we recruit South Africans. In fact, we've got all nationalities in there. So, yeah, too long a list to be able to go to. But as a global organization, we look for top quality people. Okay, what do we look for? We look for people who are ambitious, and we look for people that have got good communication ability. So, we've invited you today. We've got teams of recruiters around the world that work for us, and they headhunt, if you like. They look for people that have got great CVs. They look for people that they believe have got good communication skills, and then invite them to this webinar. What I'm going to attempt to do today is I'm going to explain to you exactly all about DeVere. So we're going to give you the A to Z of our particular organization, and we're also going to talk about the financial industry as a whole. So we're not just going to talk about DeVere, but we're going to talk about the international opportunities that there are around the world. So if you don't feel that DeVere is right for you, then at least you know what this particular sector is all about. I'm going to talk to you about incomes. Some of you may well be interested in earning some good money. And the great news is, if you're good at this job, then you can certainly be rewarded. I'm also going to talk to you about the qualities we look for in a person. So what makes a person good in this business? I've already said communication skills. There are other things. But the great thing about DeVere is we take people with the qualities that we look for, communication skills is one of them, and we train. So we're a company that believes in developing its own people. And I believe that if you invest in the people within the company, then that's how you build an organization. And lastly, I'm going to talk about success. What makes people success? So if you're thinking you want to achieve in 2017, what makes a person successful? What does it in this business, but in life in general? Okay, and I'm going to talk about my philosophy as we finish this particular webinar. First of all, let me briefly give you a little bit of background on me. I came into financial services in the UK, so literally straight out of college, and I went to work in the UK financial services industry. Okay, I always say I started in the school of hard knocks. In other words, I started at the bottom and I learned to be able to prospect, in other words, to be able to look for clients. And then I learned how to be able to sit down with people, talk to them about their financial situation and show them how to save effectively for their future. I developed within the business and I became one of the top advisors within the UK. And I loved it. It was great. Okay, business was good, and I really enjoyed dealing with people. From there, I progressed and had my own business in the UK. So exactly the same as DeVere, except I had my own IFA, my own company advising people on saving within the United Kingdom. Okay, I was happy, but a friend of mine had gone to work in the international market. Okay, and he literally kept coming back in my office and he was persistent. He kept saying, Nigel, you should see the opportunity internationally. Okay, well, I was an arrogant southerner, arrogant Londoner in those days. And I believe London was the centre of the world, right? So those of you in the UK, I thought if you went past Watford, you kind of fell off the end of the world. So, all right, don't worry, I'm not biased against Northerners. In fact, some of our top people are from the north of the UK. But certainly I was in those days. I actually thought London was it. So it took a while for him to persuade me to go and work in the international sector. Okay, but he persuaded me to go and have a look. And that's all he persuaded me in the first instance, to go and look. Okay, I did that. And to be honest, it blew my mind. Okay, why? Well, I knew everybody, because I worked in the sector in the UK, needed to save money for their future. But what I didn't realise is that there were so many people around the world that also had the same feelings. But not only that, they could afford to save more. I didn't realise that there were a globalisation effect of millions and millions of expatriates around the world that had gone abroad for a better lifestyle to earn more money, and guess what? They could afford to save more money. So, alright, after some persuasion and him showing me what was available, I went about 20 years ago to work in the international sector. Okay, I worked for him for a few years, and again, it was going well for me. Until 14 years ago, when he decided to retire. He'd made his money, and as he put it, he wanted to go and watch waves. Alright, well, okay, if you get to know me, and maybe you got the idea already, there is nothing that I can think of more horrific than being sat there watching waves. So, 14 years ago, I formed DeVere. Why? Okay, well, one, I like this business. I love it. Everybody needs financial services. And the truth is, if you come into this business, you have an opportunity to earn a great income and to be able to help clients make money for their future. I wanted to continue to work. I enjoy this particular business. So I wanted to continue, and I had a vision of building a company that was the largest IFA in the world. So during the last 14 years, we've been building DeVere. And so far, we're up to 70 offices worldwide. We employ in total just over 2,000 people around the world. But quite frankly, you haven't seen nothing yet. We're growing, we're developing, and certainly this year we're looking for a 30% plus increase in our turnover as an organisation. And indeed, we expect our manpower to increase by certainly a further 25% as we take on good quality people. We open new offices and we look to develop more people within our business. I've already said that we like to take on people and train them. So what exactly, do we do? What do we talk to people about? Okay, well, in simple terms, and it is a simple business in many ways, everybody needs our services. We talk to people about their money. Think about it this way. Everybody's in one of two situations or somewhere in the middle. They've either got no money or they've got loads. Okay, think you'll agree, you're going to be in one of those, right? No money or loads or somewhere in the middle. Okay, of course, most people are somewhere in the middle. But think about it this way, if you've got no money, what do you need to do? Okay, well, if you've got no money, then you need to save on a regular basis to create money for the future. And if you've already got money, that's great. But you've got to make sure that it's in the right places to work effectively, to grow, to beat inflation, and also to make sure that you don't end up giving yourself a tax problem. You see, the clients that we talk to are often, not always, but often international expatriates. They move from country to country. So they need not only a product that is going to give them good returns, that's fundamental, but they also need something that's tax effective for them. Okay, think about it. Do you enjoy paying tax? Okay, I've never met anybody that enjoyed paying tax. So if I could show you how to create capital for your future, if I could show you how to use your money to make money for the future, and at the same time reduce your tax liability, would that be of value to you? And of course, if you answer yes, and everybody does, because everybody needs money for the future, everybody needs money for the future, everybody wants money for the future. And that's exactly what we advise them on. Okay, so how do we go about it? Well, we have offices, as I've already mentioned, around the world. We employ coordinators to work in those offices alongside our advisors. So today we're talking to you as potential advisors. Some of you may feel that lacking perhaps in experience, you might want to start with the coordination first of all. A coordinator's job is to make sure that they're making contacts. In other words, they need to prospect, and we teach them how to do that. We do a number of seminars. We ask our clients for introductions to other people. That's where we get most of our business. We obviously use LinkedIn, and we use all the other social media things that you would expect of us to be able to talk to people and introduce our services. We're lucky. Everybody needs money for the future, and it doesn't matter what nationality there are. There are 350 million expatriates around the world, plus the top end of the local market, 350 million expats, plus the top end of the local market that want good international products. Coordinator's job is to pick up the phone and book those appointments. So once we've met those people in various different ways or been introduced to those people by an existing client, we then book appointments to see those people. Okay, our advisor's job, in simple terms, is to sit down with our clients and do a fact find. So think about this 4 parts to the job. Number 1, we've got a prospect. Coordinator takes care of the prospecting, finding the right people, and making sure we get introduced to other people. Second part of the job, and first part, if you're an advisor, fact find. Okay, a fact find means that you sit down with a client and literally you go through a form, which is very, very simple, but it basically says to the client, where are you today? Where do you want to be in the future? Look, if you think about it, everybody's got financial goals. There isn't one person that doesn't want money for the future for something. It could be they want to educate their family, educate their children, give them a great start in life. That certainly would be a big ambition for many of our clients. Maybe they want a beautiful car. Maybe they want their own business. Maybe they want lots of holidays. Maybe it's just financial security or the option not to work at some stage in the future. Certainly everybody needs money. So during the fact find, we find out where a client is and where they want to be. I've already said there's 2 obvious needs. Either they've got insufficient to be able to do what they want, that's the majority of people, they need to save on a regular basis to create the money to be able to achieve their objectives. Or they've got money, and it may be a bit of both, that they need to make work for them. Having done the fact find, we sit down with our technical services. We have a manager in each individual office, and we make sure we find the right product for the client. So we're training people, first of all, to do a fact find. That's about asking questions, simple questions, but clearly finding out what a person's goals are financially, what motivates them. Then, second part, is to sit down and find out the right product. DeVere is totally independent. Means we can use any of the products in the marketplace. So we therefore find the very best product for our clients. And if you like, the third stage of the job is to present that product. So we prospect, we fact find, okay, and once we've got the right product, we present it. Okay, and again, it's about people that can keep it simple. At the end of the day, the client wants to know what it's going to do for him. Can you present that? Can you communicate? The products are nice and simple, but the client's money is going to be going to one of the top investment companies in the world and create capital for their future. Okay, and done effectively, that person will have financial security for their future. And if we do the job right, and the client believes that we've matched needs, in other words, found what they wanted, matched the right product for them, then they become a client. Okay, as a client, the full part of the job is to look after that client. Okay, and again, the great thing about our business is if you do the job right, not only do you gain a client, but by looking after them, they invest more money and they introduce you to more of their friends. And frankly, that's where the business starts to build. Because as you look after people, then you get rewarded for building that client bank. Okay, as a business, we get paid on results. And the top advisors in our industry will be earning over 500,000 sterling per year. That's the top advisors within the industry. The average first year is around 150,000 sterling. But then just bear in mind that that covers people that also earn 30, 40,000. Okay, last year my bottom person was £37,000 that they earn. My top person, I was 800,000 that they earn. Okay, but the great thing about this business is it depends on you. How good you are at communicating, how many clients will actually effect the investment and decide to invest for the future. Okay, but what it does mean is that even if you're not that great at the job, you can command a great income. Okay, we get paid well. You have to learn the business. You have to learn, all right, to be able to communicate properly or effectively. But, all right, you can earn some terrific incomes. In fact, if you only gain one client per week, just one client per week, then you earn over £160,000 in your first year. Okay, quite frankly, if you talk to people, you can't fail to gain one client a week. Okay, let's face it. At the end of the day, everybody needs money for the future. So if you talk to people effectively, then it's quite simple to be able to earn the big incomes. The more effective you are, then the more you can earn within this particular business. The great thing about DeVere is we take on people and we sit in on their meetings when they're new. We train them, we train them, we train them. We improve their communication skills. We've got incredible technical services department backup that can help with the product so that the client always gets the very best product for their situation. So what do you need if you come into the business? What sort of qualities do you need? Okay, well, number one, you need a bit of ego. Okay, people say ego. I say, yeah, you need a little bit of ego. You need to be the type of person that believes in themselves. You know, at the end of the day, I'm an ordinary guy. And I always think, if he can, I can. If she can, I can. In other words, I don't think I'm better than somebody else, but I know I'm as good as, even if I've got to make up for it by working harder. I might not be the best looking person in the room. I might not be the most talented, but I can outwork other people if it comes to that. I believe in myself. What about you? You see, you're dealing with people and they tend to be confident. So if you're not confident in you, you can't expect them to be confident in you. You need to believe in yourself, and after our training, I would expect you to be able to walk into one of my offices and go, if she can, I can. He can, I can. That's ego. However, there'd be no point in having such a great big ego, such a great big head, if you like, that you can get in the room and no other person can. Second quality we look for is empathy. Empathy means the ability to sit down with somebody and understand their situation and show them solutions. That's not sympathy. If I've got a client and he's got 10 years to go to retirement and no money at the moment, and I got sympathy, 10 years to go, no money. Okay, if I've got sympathy, we both end up in tears, right? Because let's face it, all right, that's sad if you've got 10 years to go and no money at all. if you've got empathy, you'll understand that, yes, you understand how that person feels, and there's plenty of people in that situation, by the way. You understand how that person feels, but you also can explain to them, it's still better to have some money than none. Okay, that's empathy. Third quality we look for is a desire to be successful. I'm looking for people who are determined people. At the end of the day, I can train people. I can give you a track to run on. I can produce the products. I can show you exactly how to make sure that you earn a fantastic income. That part, I can guarantee you, if you do this, this, and this, you'll earn X. Okay, guarantee you that part, no problem. But you've got to have a desire to learn a new business, a desire to be successful. You give me a person with average ability, but a burning desire to succeed, and I'm going to give you back a winner every single time. You give me a person that thinks the world owes them a living, and I'm going to give you back a loser every time. You see, I know I can train. I know DeVere can train people and develop people. But we want people, and we will only take on people that have got a desire to succeed. They're prepared to work hard. I don't know anybody that has made money of their own, not inherited it, made money of their own without working hard. Okay, yes, I can teach you. Yes, I can give you the products, give you the infrastructure, give you the support, but I need people that are prepared to work hard. And if they're prepared to work hard, in return for that, I'll show them how to be in a business whereby you can have incredible job satisfaction because you're doing a great job for people, and at the same time be rewarded. That's what we offer, and that's the opportunity that you have within DeVere. In finishing, I'd like to briefly just tell you the story of the elephant. Okay, you're going to think I've flipped my lid, but I promise you I haven't. And it summarizes my philosophy to this business, if I may. If you go along to a circus, you'll see an elephant. Great big powerful creature, 2 tons. Circus tent, the marquee, get pulled up by the elephant. The truck gets stuck in the dirt, get the elephant out, gives it a shove, truck's on its way again. We all know elephants are big, powerful creatures. And yet, you know, at night, they tie elephants up with a little bit of rope to a little wooden post in the ground. And you know the elephant can't get away. Little bit of rope, little wooden post, little wooden stake. Okay, and I'd ask you the question. Any idea why the elephant can't get away? Little bit of rope, little wooden stick? And some of you know the answer. And the answer is because when they're baby elephants, they're tied, or tethered as they call it, with a metal chain to a concrete post. And you know, babies tend to wander and try and get away. And after a while, their ankle bleeds and hurts. And after a while, the elephant says, "Something tied on my back leg." Then I can't get away. They now put a little bit of rope around it, a little wooden post in the ground. And you know something? For the rest of its life, it never bothers trying. It's been conditioned, if you like. Crazy story. But you know what I think's even sillier? I think most people go through life just like the elephant. They got a little bit of rope around their back leg to a little wooden post in the ground. And they're never going to achieve anything because they think they can't. You know, most people are in environments that unfortunately are negative environments. You go and work for most companies and it's you can't do that and you won't do that. Has to have an effect. If you work in the UK, you pick up a newspaper and it's full of negative rubbish. They don't put positive in there, right? They just put negative in there. They know it sells stories. But negativity breeds negativity. So if you're feeding in negative, it has an effect. Most people's friends, again, say, "Hey, you can't really do that. You can't really achieve that." Okay, well, again, it has an effect. Okay, the number one thing that makes people successful, in my opinion, is yes, you need a great company, but you need a great environment. You need to be surrounded by can-do people. You need the right environment whereby you get great training and people have the right attitude. Okay, hopefully you got the idea from watching this webinar today that we are a can-do company. Okay, a company where you'll see people earning £5,000–10,000 a week, and you'll go, if he can, I can. If she can, I can. Okay, and being in the right environment by talking to people that show you how to do things, you become solution conscious, and solutions are always there. You know, if I had to give myself some advice as a 20-year-old guy, I'd say, Nigel, there's always a solution. Okay, and I believe that. There is always a solution. You just got to be the right type of person that has a great attitude, surrounded by great people that want to succeed. That is the DeVere environment. I don't know if that sounds like it. If it does, we'd like you to take it a stage further, but only if you really believe that you could do that job. If you're not sure, or you think maybe, okay, it's not right for you, let me be clear. If you're sure and you feel, absolutely, I could do that job, I'm interested, then I'd like you to go back to your recruiter and tell them that you want to take it a stage further. So, if you feel it's for you, within the next 24 hours, after that 24-hour period, job's gone, finito, we don't want to talk to people after that period, because we want to know how many people we've got to interview, right? So, come back to us if you believe it's right for you. Come back, tell us why, you want to be working in this type of organisation. Go back to your recruiter, and they will book an interview with you. Okay, I'm also looking to mentor 5 people. So if you would like to be mentored, and I'd say you've got 2 extra things, right? You've got a bit of extra ambition, and 2, you're decisive. You're the sort of person that's decisive. If you want to be mentored, then please send me a personal message on LinkedIn or on Twitter, and I'll be happy to watch your progress through the interview process, and I'm going to take on 5 people that I'm going to mentor and see if I can get to another level. Okay, I believe that if I actually look after those people in a particular way and using technology, because I travel a lot, then I can actually get them to a higher level this year. So I'm looking forward to do that. 5 people that have got a bit of extra ambition and decisive. All right, so nice and easy, but let me just go back over that. Number 1, if you feel it's right for you, go back to the person that booked you onto this webinar within 24 hours. They'll book an interview with you when they can find out about you and, of course, answer any questions that you may have. Secondly, if you want to be mentored, send me a message on LinkedIn. That's the easiest way. Just go to Google, as everybody does, put Nigel Green, DeVere, LinkedIn, I'm sure I'll come up. Connect with me, just send me a quick message, and I'll watch you go through the recruitment period. Okay, I'm traveling, so I may not get back to you, but I'll be watching your progress, all right, all the way through. Okay, or if you prefer Twitter, then it's just Nigel J. Green, as though it's all one word, Nigel J. Green. Okay, and again, all right, I'll watch out for you, okay, and your progress all the way through. Okay, so thank you for your time today. Thank you for listening. I hope that was nice and clear, and if not, send me a message on LinkedIn, okay, and I'll work on making it better. Okay, whether the business is for you or whether it's not. If it is, get back to the recruiter. If it isn't, thanks for listening anyway. But either way, have a fantastic 2017. It's going to be an exciting year. Okay, there's no question about it. Okay, let's make it a great one. All right, okay, for each and every single one of us. Thanks for listening today. It's appreciated.